Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we got to talk Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns as they fell below 500 yesterday against the Dallas Mavericks. And Luka Doncic has owned the Phoenix Suns over the last few years. Ever since that playoff series, that Game 7, prior to KD's arrival, he's on that team. Well, KD, you could see the Suns fan base starting to turn against him. I'm going to post some of those Reddits. You see these clips right here of people going at KD and really kind of blaming the Suns not reaching that peak they thought they would reach on him. And KD is seemingly becoming tired of the Suns and I don't know about the management, but definitely the product that's on the floor. He feels like it's not giving them the best chance to win. And Woj reported on that prior to the game. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at KD's post game, and we're also going to see where Devin Booker called out himself, KD, and the coach about getting it together. And it looks like Washington has given the Suns something that's too good to be true. They gave him a Bradley Beal whose health wasn't intact, and they knew it. They obviously knew something with him not being able to get on the floor and help the team. But I have a lot to say about this, but we're going to check these clips out. Let's peep it.
Well, start with Kevin Durant. You talk to people in Phoenix and around that organization. They can feel the frustration with Durant. Part of that certainly is the missed games for Brad Beal. This team was built around those three stars. The underwhelming supporting cast that comes from those massive trades for Durant and Bradley Beal that really gutted the organization and left them having to sign a lot of minimum players to fill out the payroll, and then understanding that they lack the assets, the draft picks, the trade capital to go out and really improve this team. This is something they're going to have to manage in Phoenix with Kevin Durant. You've seen it before, and it reminds you, it is a stark reminder of how short of a window and how this team has to win big, and they have to win big quickly based on how it was constructed, and having Kevin Durant still playing at an all-NBA level and a healthy Kevin Durant. And there's a lot at stake for this organization. It's got to change soon.
Okay, Mayor of Scottsdale, you know this team inside and out. Given all of that, how confident are you that they're going to figure all of this out?
I'm not. First of all, they can't get on the court.
A reoccurring thing for you guys.
Yeah, disappointing to lose. We're just trying to figure it out as best as we can every single day. And we did some solid things. In every one of our games we played, but we just haven't put together a full game. And so we just keep working and keep grinding, man. Keep grinding, and we'll figure this thing out.
I know Coach was complimenting you guys being, selfless, pass the ball, but you getting to just 11 shots. What do you think led to that tonight?
No, that's just the game. Like Grayson got hot, got it going. Metu got it going. Book got it going. So I think I did a solid job providing them space. A lot of times I felt like my man didn't leave when he's supposed to have a rotation and was able to get some open shots on the backside. So I know people only look at me just to score, and if I don't get up shots, then I'm not effective. But it's a little subtle stuff in the game that I believe that I help my teammates with. But I know my scoring is, it's so loud that people only look at me as that type of player. But I feel like I still was able to help the offense out without shooting the ball and still be able to help the defense as well.
Sure, just a quick follow on Grayson, just what stood out. That third quarter, he had 19 in the third, but overall his game.
Yeah, he was, I think in the first half he got some great looks. It just didn't fall, and then he stayed aggressive. And we were looking for him after a while, and he was able to get us back into the game and get the crowd going and give us some momentum. And I'm proud of him. We just need him to keep building on this and keep building that confidence in himself to take those shots, be aggressive. I felt like I still passed up a couple of them that were open in the first half because he was missing, but the ball gonna find them. I want everybody to be aggressive, to score, to make a play, play with good pace, and to settle in and find the right shot for everybody. So we trust everybody here, and Grayson was great for us, and also with Metu as well.
KD, I'm sure you're as surprised as anybody that you guys have lost 9 of 12.
But I got to be better. I think that's holding the team back. Turn the ball over. How many turnovers average a game?
A game this year? You're around 4. It's been 18 in the last 3.
Around 4 turnovers a game?
3 to 4.
Well, now because of the last.
But what's my average? You know?
I don't know if
Career, you're around 2, 2.5. I would say somewhere around there. It's usually 3. It depended on your role. It fluctuated.
I just can't turn it over.
Devin said, talking about the defensive issues, just a lack of focus there throughout the entire possession. Can you think of anything that's attributed to what causes that? How you fix that?
What, lack of focus? I give the other team credit sometimes. They make the extra pass and they play all the way late into the clock and we scramble mode. I think we did a solid job of trying to scramble and played a unique defense tonight, so we're trying to work around it. They're a good team, so they're going to give shots on the backside. And sometimes we're not going to do things perfectly on the defensive side, but I think we had some tough breaks at the wrong times, and you got to give them credit for making shots too.
You're one of the few guys in the league who can.
Yeah, this might be a tough question to answer, but the loss of focus defensively, is there anything that you can attribute that to?
It's personal. It takes 5 people, so, one slip up will, leave an open shooter, and, that's all it takes in the NBA. So, 5 people have to be on the stream, and the communication has to be high.
Is it part of the frustration, Devin, that it's one here, it's one there, it's not, that's causing, each situation to unravel whenever stuff like that happens?
What's the question?
Just, when you have a situation where, like, one person doesn't get to where they need to be, and it's like, okay, that's throwing off the entire group. Is that part of the frustration with it?
Yeah. It's like I said, all 5 people have to be engaged. It's the NBA, and if you want to win at a high level, every possession counts, and, those one slip-ups, if they happen, can't happen again.
Devin, obviously frustrating time for you, for the team. Are you concerned about a snowball effect with the frustration?
No. We just have to get it together. And, that's on me, that's on coach, that's on KD, Eric, all the leaders that we have in here to make sure that we're more prepared when we come play.
Okay, so from my perspective, right, KD was saying all the right things. The guys were getting hot from the field. I don't have to always go for 30 if my guys, like Grayson Allen had 32, Book had it going, whatever. But in certain primetime games, Luka is on your court going for 50 points. Big numbers. If Booker ain't going for 52, then both of y'all need to be going for about 40. Especially the magnitude of this game and the way Luka and Booker has been going back and forth over the years. My issue with KD has been, I've always questioned his leadership. And obviously he tore his Achilles, and that injury was devastating for him in Golden State. True enough. But, when he got to Brooklyn, him and Kyrie, that whole thing, and just the lack of leadership, you had talent on the floor, but you didn't have anyone, I felt like, to galvanize the troops. And really, like when I looked at Nick Claxton and those guys were improving, but it didn't seem like they had a leader to follow. They were just improving players, and it was not cohesive at all. They brought in James Harden, and they tried to build a team rather than, lead. And that just doesn't work. And we're seeing that again. And we're also seeing how important Chris Paul, when he was still playing some of his best basketball, how important he was as an addition to the Suns than KD was. And I feel like, you had the morale of Ayton go down after that championship run in the contract negotiations. Well, they didn't win the championship, but that finals run, I meant to say, and the contract negotiations. And so I felt like they did decent bringing in Nurkic. They brought in Nasser Little, some of the other players, and I felt like they would be good. Now, I've seen many say they don't need a point guard. I've seen others say they would. They thought Bradley Beal and Booker could split those responsibilities. But when scoring is what you do best, you know, it's different than being a secondary ball handler and being the guy with the ball in your hands all the time. So, you know, KD has no one to blame but himself for this, man. When you start, like, OKC was his most comfortable. You think about what he said, you know, not being able to win with Russ and what others were saying he could never win with him. He actually had his most success, not counting an already built championship caliber team in Golden State, where he went and joined a team that could get to the finals without him. I'm talking about where he was the guy, you know, him and Russ was the guys there. And I felt like, you know, it's just funny how that stuff works out, that Russ was his best partner that he's had as far as like fair basketball. I ain't talking about, you know, like that Golden State thing. Like I said, I'm talking about a situation tailor-made for you, and you grew up with the team and you were the guy. Like if he was still in OKC to this day, he would retire a king there, whether he won or not. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the grass just ain't greener. You look at his journey outside of Golden State. Since that point, he hasn't reached the same success that him and Russ had in OKC. He just hasn't. So was it really worth ever leaving? You know, when you really, really bust it down? He has no one to blame but himself trying to build these teams, man. I'm telling you, that era's over. And LeBron did it about as good as anybody could do it. But even if you look at Miami, they ain't three-peat. Kobe, you know, him and Shaq did it. Jordan, Pippen did it twice. As far as winning at a high level or dominating the league, I haven't seen a built team in the modern era do it. I haven't seen them do it. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about like before the draft lottery teams. I'm talking about anything after the draft lottery. We ain't really seen a built team where guys force their way on teams with other guys, or try to even go, you know, try to get the organization to make trades to bring in the most offensive talent. We haven't seen that work yet. So KD is a leader, man. I've always questioned that, and that's all I really got to say about it, man. I want to know what you guys think. Does KD have a right to be tired of the Phoenix Suns? Or do y'all feel like, you know, he's kind of getting what he's asked for in his career as far as, you know, wanting out of all these organizations? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.